Hello there people, my name is Sho and welcome back to another episode of Game Things. For those who are hoping for a better Diablo game than Immortal, Diablo 4 is a sequel that many Diablo fans have been waiting for. The good news is that we now have an update on the upcoming open beta and early access dates. Early access is apparently coming earlier than the open beta on March 17, and the early access lasts until March 19, 2023. Those who are able to play during the early access phase are the ones who pre-ordered the game, and as for the others, open beta is available to all players starting March 24th, and the beta lasts until March 26, 2023. It is said that a level 24 cap will be imposed, and the players will be able to experience the prologue as well as Act 1 of the game during the early access and open beta period. If you ever wondered the progress in the early access and open beta will be carried over to the live server, well, according to the precedent that is shown by the passage of time, the simpler answer is no. It didn't happen to Diablo 3, so I doubt it will be a thing for Diablo 4. And according to the precedents of our weekly videos here on YouTube, this is about the time where I set up my Flash News section. A new Civilization game, I'm assuming Civilization 7 is what the next one is going to be called, is in development, confirmed by Firaxis Games, the developer of the Civilization franchise with long history since Civilization 3, that is, if we are only looking at the mainline series. This news also came alongside Jake Solomon's departure from the Firaxis team. He was the creative director and lead designer of XCOM Enemy Unknown, XCOM 2, as well as Marvel's Midnight Suns. Heather, or Heather Hazen, also currently known as the CEO of Firaxis Games, will become the studio head, placing Steve Martin, who was the studio head for 27 long years, as you can see from this Twitter post by Firaxis Games. Nonetheless, we wish the individuals who left all the best in their coming future, and let's also hope that the next title of the Sid Meier Civilization franchise will only be better. Up next, we have a little update on the upcoming Resident Evil 4 Remake. It is said that the remake will feature a New Game Plus mode after your first clearance, and a photo mode for obvious reason. To those who played the more recent titles from the Resident Evil franchise, aka the Resident Evil Village, and is hoping for a first-person mode in Resident Evil 4 Remake, unlucky, because third-person will be the only way to play the game. I can think of a lot of games that would feel weird switching between first-person and third-person, but Resident Evil is one of them whereby playing either in first-person or third-person doesn't really bother me, and the experience still felt authentic and natural, which is a good thing. If you're craving for more Resident Evil 4 Remake contents before the game officially launched on March 24th this year, in the meantime, you can check out this 80 questions about Resident Evil 4 Remake done by Game Informer on YouTube with the link provided down below. Moving on, I Am Jesus Christ is actually the game title. It is a first person, and as if it was not obvious from the title itself, Jesus Simulator game. The game is targeted to be released in Q2 of 2023, and if you wish to try the game before buying it when it becomes available, the standalone prologue is what you are looking for. It is free, and you can really try it out. You are welcome for that. Honestly, regardless of how this game plays and performs graphically, it will certainly be a great YouTube video. Imagine titles like Day in the Life of Jesus. And here's some even shorter news where I will quickly go through. Hogwarts Legacy has to be one of the hottest games released this month, or perhaps for one whole week. Anyways, Avalanche Software, the developer of the game, just have to pour some cold water to slow down the spreading heat a little bit. They say that Hogwarts Legacy will not be getting any DLCs anytime soon, despite the great launch it had. Almost like being too lazy to press E to open a chest box only because it's 2 steps away from you and not right in your face. Speaking of steps away, Kerbal Space Program 2 have its early access launching this week on February 24th. Can't say much about a game that I have not played myself, but I can tell you from just the gameplay, it'll be the kind of game where you happen to download on a Saturday night and end up spending your sleeping time playing and exploring the game. Another game that is also just a couple steps away, The Dark Pictures Switchback VR, is a branched out game from the original The Dark Pictures series, known for its story-driven interactive drama gameplay. The Dark Pictures Switchback VR is a rail shooter where you are unlucky enough to get yourself a ticket to be in the front seat of an ominous roller coaster from hell, and you have to pew pew your way throughout your ride. There'll be a link down below that brings you to the video that shows you some walkthrough gameplay, a little bit on the stories, and more infos about the game itself, in which the game is releasing on March 16, 2023 for the PlayStation VR 2. And this is where I'm thinking, maybe it is time to get a PSVR 2 as my very first VR headset to experience and explore the uncharted territory of virtual reality games. For me, at least. If there is one game that is sitting way down on the list when it comes to games to play on a VR headset, at least for me, it has to be Layers of Fear. Even on a flat screen, games like this is a difficult one for me. This new Layers of Fear is not to be mistaken with the 2016 release of Layers of Fear. Yes, they both do share the same game title, with the older game now having a 2016 wording in the title. The 2023 version of Layers of Fear is coming out in June 2023 on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, as well as PC. "You cunning rascal, you won't get through here, die." Remember this line from an upcoming game aimed to be released in 2023? Lies of P is the game that we are referring to here. We now finally know that the game will be coming out in August 2023, thanks to the official release month trailer that is published this week. And you would be wrong to think that I have more to say about the game at this point in time, because that is really it for now. But I do have something to say about Steam, as you can now transfer games over your local area network. Nothing game changing, but certainly a quality of life improvement, because now you can transfer games between different machines and devices through your local network without having to re-download games using the already slow internet or Wi-Fi, especially those who have rough internet connections in their area. If you already have a fast internet connection, then this might not be as interesting for you. As for those who already have a huge Steam library downloaded, who happen to also recently bought a new PC or a Steam Deck without using your slow internet connection to re-download all the games or copy the game files manually using a USB stick or cable, you can check out on how you can do it via your local area network on Steam support page, which we'll be providing a link to down in the description. And now we're going to look at the game releases of this week. Atomic Heart is now available on the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox One, as well as PC. You know that this game does not come with ray tracing support at launch, despite how it was being pushed as a ray tracing enabled title multiple times by Nvidia. Nonetheless, the game got a 77 Metacritic score when I last checked, and if you have been avoiding the spoilers to truly experience the game yourself, here's a piece of non-spoiler advice. Learn to love the dialogues, and it will help level up your experience playing the game. Also, to make sure that you are able to listen the full and complete dialogues, plant your feet down and don't move too far away from the place where the dialogue begins, because dialogues will be cut short should you move too far away. Another banging of a game, Like a Dragon Ishin, is released on the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox One, and PC. If you have played at least a single game from the series, previously known as the Yakuza series, you know what you are getting into. If you're playing on a higher difficulty, do your side quests, and trust me, it is a very Yakuza, or should I say, Like a Dragon experience. The quests are awesome as always. Up next, if everything else goes well, Digimon World Next Order should have been made available on 22nd of February 2023 for the Nintendo Switch and PC. I wouldn't say this is a must try, especially if you have already played the game back then when it was released in 2016 for the PlayStation 4. Combat kind of reminds me of Xenoblade Chronicles. Probably not as refined, but considering this game was released back in March 2016, that is commendable. Then we have Sons of the Forest. Its early access is also happening this week and should already be made available by the time this video is out on PC. And this is finally the time where I can get the original game and try it out for the very first time. Although, to be fair, the first game isn't that expensive, and it is still worth the buy even at its full asking price in my opinion. Anyhow, I expect the same if not a better experience from the sequel as compared to The Forest, and I do expect some bugs here and there because after all, it is still in early access. Players who are familiar with Octopath Traveler, the turn-based party strategy JRPG, Octopath Traveler 2 is the successor to the first title in the series, and the game will be made available on 24th of February 2023 for the PlayStation 4 and 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. It might happen in the coming future, but yes, it is not scheduled to be released on Microsoft's Xbox console or Game Pass, at least as of the recording of this video. Definitely a bummer, especially that it is a great game. For the time being, it is what it is. Finally, PSVR 2 should have been launched this week by the time this video is out, and so are the launch titles. We did already show you most of the titles in previous episode, so just a quick mention of a few titles that are coming out at launch date. Among the launch titles include Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village, and Tetris Effect Connecting. We'll link you the PlayStation blog posts that have the list of all the launch window titles that are coming out for the PSVR 2 down in the description. As usual, on the Epic Games Store, you can claim yourself a copy of Duskers, recommended to science fiction lovers, also to those who like exploration game in general, and typing. Because here in this game, you are piloting drones to explore the abandoned spaceships, trying to find ways to survive, all while piecing the puzzles on how the universe became what it is now. Remember to claim a copy of Duskers by or before 3rd of March 2023. And before I forget, Steam Mystery Fest is happening. If you're looking for some mystery-focused games at a good deal, remember to check out the Steam store for some gems. Telltale's The Wolf Among Us, Spike Chunsoft's AI or I, The Somnium Files, the Danganronpa series, the Zero Escape series, Saints Gate franchise. These are all my picks if the mystery genre interests you, in which all of them happen to be visual novels. But don't let that turn you off. Give it a try, especially when these games are on sale. Make use of the Steam 2 hours refund window, because if the game does not quite meet what you like, Steam would still grant you the refund as long as you have less than 2 hours of gameplay time and you refunded the game within 14 days since you purchased it. Steam Mystery Fest is now ongoing and the event will end on February 27, 2023, 10 AM Pacific time. And I know you might not like this, but this week's episode of Game Things is ending here. Do hit the like button if you find this video helpful, and subscribe to Game Things with the bell turned on to get notified on our newly posted videos at the very first second. And to those who are still here, I was expecting a teardown of the PSVR 2 headset being published on YouTube at some point. But what I did not expect is to have Sony's PlayStation YouTube channel to publish one. Anyhow, links down below for you to check out the teardown by one of its hardware mechanical designer.